Hey everyone, Mitch coming in for the Commander's Core Studio. Welcome to the show. So, there was a lot of exciting things that happened over the weekend. First up, MagicCon Minneapolis. Yeah, that was an absolute blast. I had a great day the one day I was able to go there. There were a lot of exciting spoilers that came out over the weekend as well. If you haven't seen my quick takes on those, make sure you check those out. But also, there was a massive announcement from Wizards. And yeah, this might have a huge impact on things. And yeah. We'll see, and to find out, well, what exactly that massive change is, let's jump into it. So, an article came out called Revitalizing Standard. Here we go. Standard is and has been vital to the thriving local game stores, regular play, a robust competitive tabletop scene, local metagames, and that cheeky, friendly competitive edge is infused into so many local game stores that when Standard struggles, stores take note. Even in the context of Magic growing leaps and bounds over the past few years, Tabletop Standard hasn't kept pace. Commander has grown tremendously, more and more players enjoy Pioneer and Modern, and Standard sees more play on Magic: The Gathering Arena every day than individual games in any other format. It concerns us when Tabletop Standard gets left behind. Despite Magic's tremendous growth, time and time again, we've heard from players and local store owners that they believe a healthy, well-liked, well-attended Standard is incredibly important to their experience and their success. Lastly, we've been doing more asking and listening to assess how we can help Standard. Over the past few years, Standard has dried up in many stores. I have my own list of possible reasons, but I'd love to hear from you about your store community. Why has Sanctioned Standard play declined relative to other formats in your store? And then Aaron Forsyth had this tweet. And we've been putting together plans to do just that. It helps that Standard is once again gaining traction as a fun format showcased in Pro Tour March Machine this very weekend, but we also recognize we need to make a more public commitment to Standard and competitive tabletop Magic. As such, we'll be rolling out multifaceted plans over the coming months to do so. Today is step one. So here we go, the big change step one. That step is that we're going to extend the life cycle of all cards in Standard by 1 year. Starting with the current Standard environment, sets will rotate out every 3 years rather than every 2 years. So that is a big change, massive change. And although you might be like me and just play Commander, this can definitely have a massive impact on even our format. Well, first of all, if you are playing Commander, one of the reasons might be, well, yeah, you don't like rotation. You like to play with the cards that you have. You don't like losing out on the cards that you have, essentially be like, oh, I can't play that anymore because it's out of the format. Commander doesn't really have that. There are very few bans that ever happen. So yeah, essentially, if you have a card, if you have a deck, you'll always be able to play with it. I mean, my Feldergrift deck cost me $25 at the time when I bought it, and now I still play that Feldergrift deck. So I didn't have to, rebuild it. I had to build a different deck. I didn't have to, take cards out and change them out because they rotated. There's no rotation in Commander. I think that's something that Wizards are starting to see and why they might be making a change to extend the life cycle of Standard. Let's continue. This means that with the release of Wilds of Eldraine, there will be no Standard rotation for this year only. The following year in 2024, Innistrad Crimson Vow, Innistrad Midnight Hunt, Kamigawa Neon Dynasty, and Streets of New Capenna will rotate out of Standard. MTG Arena will follow this change for Standard, but not Alchemy. Our intent with this change is not to overshadow any of the amazing growth Commander, Pioneer, Modern, and other formats have seen in recent years, but instead give players more reasons to engage with Standard. Extending the Standard rotation for 3 years, we believe achieve 2 main points. Initial benefit, that can make Tabletop Standard more enjoyable. First up, this will give current Standard cards more longevity. Yep, time and time again, we hear that players want to play cards they love longer and enjoy longer. Standard is our only rotating format, and while keeping it fresh is important, we also feel that there's more effective middle ground. Yeah, I definitely can hear that and see that, because I think Magic players, again, like I mentioned, are starting to go more toward, those non-rotating formats. Commander is the, biggest non-rotating format, I would say, obviously, the most popular one, and one that you can use pretty much every single card out there. Pioneer and Modern are other ones that do have a selective card pool, but it doesn't rotate. They said, basically, we start at this set, and from then on, you can keep using the cards. So, yeah. Players don't have to keep rebuilding decks. They don't have to just invest completely in a different deck when theirs rotates out of the format. There is no rotation. Next up, it will allow the mechanics and archetypes to be more effectively built on over time. As we moved around from the block model, we gained a lot of flexibility, but we also lost some ability to build on mechanics and themes within a set. With a longer window, we can find more opportunities to build up or revitalize archetypes. Couple with the point above that this can lead to more diversity, longer lasting archetypes, and enough competitive churn to keep players engaged. Yeah, I can definitely see that as well. Again, Commander, you have all the mechanics and all the archetypes. Standard has certain ones, but those rotate out and they change. But giving it more longevity is going to allow them to build more into those archetypes and mechanics. It also gives us stronger tools to create an environment where decks are more colors and mechanic, like green, white, toxic, or blue, white soldiers, and less mid-range. With a larger card pool, the format can handle bigger swings with entire decks seeded at once. Yeah, I personally don't play Standard. I played Standard a long time ago, again, on a budget as well. And it would have been interesting to see, if it was that 3-year format versus 2, how that might have changed and how maybe I would have kept playing Standard. I'm not sure. Yeah, I definitely rotate out, though, at a certain point, because my Standard boggled deck left. I love you, Glade Clever Scout. I love you, Ethereal Arbor. We believe this will give Standard more stability, more vitality, and strengthen it for local game stores. Our attention toward improving Standard experience won't be ending here. To help ensure Standard thrives at local game stores, we'll be rolling out a multi-step plan to support and revitalize Standard tabletop play. While later steps are still in the planning stages, we felt it was important to share this change as early as possible once our plans around rotation were locked into place. The rest of the plan is currently undergoing iteration and rollout as we finalize it. While we work on that, we want to hear more from you. Tweet us at PlayMTG, all those, and just to join Discord. Come share your thoughts, future episode, weekly MTG. Basically, hey, give them your thoughts. Obviously, this is a massive change. Give me your thoughts as well. Let me know in the comments what your thoughts are on this. I mean, I don't think this can hurt Standard personally. I think it might, encourage players, who, again, are, worried about rotation to maybe jump in, because it is a longer rotation cycle. 3 years instead of 2 is a massive difference, an extra, 50% or whatever it is, essentially. So yeah, a massive difference in that your cards aren't going to rotate as quickly. And again, you might be thinking like, okay, how does this impact Commander? Well, first of all, some Commander players might now start playing, Standard in addition. So that is something to think about. In addition, with more players playing Standard and having a healthy Standard, that could actually lower certain card prices, with more product being sold, with more product being bought for, those Standard formats, that could lower card prices that do see play in Commander as well, or I should say that would eventually see play in Commander as well. So that could be a good impact. Yeah, there are definitely, some, other impacts as well, like, impacting local game stores, helping them out by having more and more Standard events, things like that. So there's a big impact that can happen, if Standard is able to come back, essentially, and, make a resurgence with this, change. Obviously, there's a lot of factors that have happened lately that have taken Standard down quite a bit. Again, other formats gaining more popularity. MTG Online, used to be the online resource. Now it is MTG Arena, which is much more successful. More players are playing that. So yeah, if Standard, tabletop experience can be increased, yeah, we'll see what the impacts are. And again, kind of, I do want to mention and reiterate that I personally don't play Standard. Is this going to, make me interested in Standard? I mean, I might look at like a deck or two just to kind of see if there's anything that, I would be interested in. I don't, myself, have a plan right now to jump in. I can say that, the more rotation or the less rotation that happens there, the more interested I would be. That being said, when the decks are still like, $470 bucks, $440, not exactly budget for me. I'd have to build my own, deck on the side. But obviously, if you are investing, $400, $500 into a deck and it's rotating every 2 years, that is just a lot of money to continue to fork over again and again and again quite quickly. Again, by extending that, you extend, the life cycle of your deck, essentially. Wizards is hoping that, hey, yeah, it's a decent investment if you want to play with one of the top decks. Well, there's other ones too, they're around 100 as well. But yeah, if it's not rotating nearly as quickly, then players maybe are more willing to jump in. Again, comparatively to Commander, where you can buy a deck for like 25 bucks and you can play it forever. So yeah, there's definitely some differences there. But yeah, at least it's a step, I believe, in the right direction. We shall see, though. And again, if you do play Standard or if you don't, let me know in the comments what your thoughts are on this change. And actually, I just want to read what, Saffron Olive tweeted. Been thinking about what could make 3-year Standard work. Number 1, ban things more often. That's an interesting one and probably needed if you are increasing the life cycle of Standard. It might get a little stale at a certain point. So yeah, if certain things are really taking over, if the meta deck that is just winning, a higher win rate, it might need to get taken down a little bit by banning something. 2, make Aftermath style mini sets a regular thing. So, that Aftermath set that I believe is coming out this week at some point officially. It's already fully spoiled though. It's like 50 cards or so. yeah, those kind of little mini sets could just go an injection of kind of new cards, like really quick, essentially, into the standard format. So that, yeah, there's not rotation, but this could change things up. If there's a problematic deck, again, this could, give, resources to other decks, to start taking that one down, maybe specific things to take out, or, kind of new archetypes that can get built around because of those small injection sets, essentially. Number 3, bring back core sets to have a place for reprints to support interest, synergy, and targeted answers. Yeah, I believe that's something that standard players have been asking for quite some time. I think Wizards has responded that they're not doing core sets currently, at least, because they don't sell nearly as well as other sets do. We'll see if that changes in the future, and yeah, with this change in standard. But yeah, this is a pretty big change. It's a massive change. Something that, Standard's been the way it has been for a long time. And yeah, making a change to kind of make it less, it's still rotating format, but less, quick rotations is going to have a massive impact. And we shall see if this increases the popularity. Again, a healthy standard, I think, is only a good thing for Magic, essentially. And yeah, it can definitely, impact Commander other ways, with card price and stuff like that, bringing other people to the format, bringing people into tabletop. If someone's playing Arena, decides to play, tabletop now, because again, they can buy a deck that can last longer. Maybe they'll come to a store, maybe they'll see other players playing Commander as well, maybe they'll join Commander too. So yeah, I don't think it's going to be a bad thing if Standard, gains more traction. I think it can only be a good thing, and we'll see if this change, and we'll have to see what other changes are coming in the future, and we'll see if those make an impact. So yeah, let me know in the comments below what your thoughts are on all this, and of course, as always, thanks again, and have a good one. This show and episodes like this one are possible thanks to viewers like you. If you're looking for an easy way to help support this show, make sure that you like, share, and subscribe. Also, hit that bell notification icon so you don't miss any new episodes. You can also go check out our playmats and other merchandise at thecommandersquarters.com. We also have a ton of brand new t-shirt designs in stock, so make sure you check out those as well. Another easy way to support this show is with our TCG Player affiliate links. So whether you're buying a deck or individual cards, you can use this general link right here or one in the description. And the final way that you can support this show is by supporting us directly by becoming a patron. There are many benefits to being a patron, and I truly couldn't do this without all of their support.